Hi, my name is Tina, and I'm a plant-based nutritionist certified by eCornell and the Colin T. Campbell Center for Nutrition Studies. Today, I'm here to talk to you about the benefits of plant-based protein. Here's a quick agenda. You'll be learning what protein is, where to find plant-based protein, some differences between animal and plant protein. You'll also learn about complete proteins and how much protein is needed on a daily basis. Then we'll end with some takeaways. To start, what even is protein? Protein is one of three essential macronutrients, and it's a crucial building block for our organs and plays a pivotal role in many bodily functions. It aids in repairing bodily tissues, stimulating growth, and regulating tissues and organs. Since our bodies can't store protein very well, we need to consume it regularly. As you can see here on the right, protein is made up of chains of molecules called amino acids. When protein is digested, only amino acid molecules are left, and the body uses these to make protein. Let's talk about some sources of plant-based protein. It's really not difficult to get enough protein on a plant-based diet. What you see here are just a few high-protein plant-based sources. Plant-based protein can be found in legumes like chickpeas, soybeans, pinto beans, even peas, nuts and seeds like almonds, pistachios, hemp seeds, sunflower seeds, whole grains like whole wheat flour, oats, buckwheat, quinoa, brown rice, and of course, alternative protein sources like Beyond and Impossible Meat. And let's not forget about vegetables. Vegetables have certain amino acids that can count towards your protein intake. Also, fortified plant milks, pea and soy milk, for example, have at least 8 to 9 grams of protein per serving. Now that you know where to find plant-based protein, let's dive into some benefits. For one, plant-based protein doesn't contain cholesterol like animal protein does, making it decrease your risk of heart disease. It tends to be full of antioxidants as well, which prevents damage to the cells. Plant protein is generally easier to digest because of its higher fiber content, keeping your gut healthy. Plant protein also tends to be lower in calories and saturated fat, unlike animal protein, so it can aid in weight loss while also improving your athletic performance when it comes to building muscle, if that's what you're looking to do. Overall, as we know, it's better for the planet. It's more sustainable because it requires fewer resources to produce, having little to no impact on carbon emissions like meat does. Let's now dive into some key differences between animal and plant protein. Animal protein is considered to be of a higher quality or value, and all that means is that amino acid ratios in animals resemble those of humans more closely than acid ratios of plants do, which makes sense. We're more like animals than we are like plants. Because of this, humans utilize animal based proteins more efficiently than plant based proteins. This causes animal proteins to promote more efficient protein synthesis. While this can increase body growth, it can also promote undesirable growth, like that of cancer cells, atherogenic tissue, improving conditions for heart disease, speeding up aging, leading to earlier menarche, meaning when a woman starts menstruation, and in turn, it can also increase breast cancer risk. Now let's take a look at plant proteins. To set the record straight, these are complete proteins. By complete, I mean that they contain all of the essential amino acids that our bodies need. When we look at plant protein, we see that there's really no issue with it not being as efficiently utilized because they're still complete proteins. Let's take a look at this chart by the World Health Organization. What we see here is that essential amino acids can be found in foods not commonly thought to be high in protein, like brown rice, potatoes, oats. And when we look at the breakdown of the various amino acids present in these foods, we find that they contain more than the recommended amount. Let's take, for example, the first amino acid listed here as TRP, tryptophan. We see that it's recommended to have zero point 0.3 grams of it per day, and corn, brown rice, and potatoes have more than that amount. The key really is a varied whole foods plant-based diet where refined and junk foods are avoided, and you'll get all the complete proteins you need. So, how much protein do we actually need? Let's look at the RDA. RDA stands for Recommended Dietary Allowance, and it was deemed by the Food and Nutrition Board of the Institute of Medicine in 1943, and it's been reviewed every 5 years since then. The RDA says that you need zero point 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day, and this is essentially equivalent to about 8 to 10% of total diet calories coming from protein. To convert this to pounds, let's use a 154-pound man as an example, as shown on the visual. 154 pounds is equivalent to 70 kilograms. If we do the math, zero point 0.8 grams per kilogram, we see that this man needs 56 grams of protein per day. A diet containing 8 to 10% protein as a percentage of total dietary calories means that in theory, everyone will be meeting their protein needs. And this is readily provided by a whole foods plant based diet. And you really don't need protein in excess of this. I really hope this presentation was helpful to those who are curious about plant based protein. I hope you've learned that there are an abundance of plant based protein sources out there, that plant protein is complete, and that you'll get enough protein on a whole foods plant based diet, according to the RDA. Thank you for listening.